Hello and welcome to your flip lesson on graphing. The learning target today is to learn some of the different types of graphs used and how to use them. Not all the different types of graphs will be covered though. Our first type of graph you've probably heard of and most likely used. It's the bar graph. A bar graph is a chart of rectangular bars with length proportional to the values that they represent. Our first example, it's a graph of favorite colors of students in a school. First, we'll learn the different parts of a graph, of the bar graph. This first part is called the y-axis, or number axis. The next is the x-axis, or category axis. Next, we're going to learn how to use this bar graph. When you're using a bar graph, you want to make sure that when you're drawing up onto whatever number you might be drawing to, you want to make sure that your lines are clear. You don't want it to be a little unsteady, or else it may look like a different number than it really is. And that may be a problem if there's any questions following the bar graph, which there usually are. Say you'd like to color the number 20 for people in a school like the color orange. You color all the way up to 20. But say that the number that you want to color to isn't on the line. So you just color whatever that number was, in this case 15, and so on until you complete the graph. Our next type of graph you've definitely heard of if you paid any attention at the beginning of the school year, because it's the Boxwhisker Plot again. Mr. Oliver taught about this, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a review. The first step to creating a Boxwhisker Plot is to put the numbers of your graph in order from least to greatest and find the median. In this case, there's 2, so between 10 and 12 is the number 11. Step 2, you'd find the quartiles. In this case, the quartiles are the numbers in between, like at the middle, so there's the median. And these blue lines are the quartiles. So the blue lines, the quartiles, happen to be on the left, it's 8, also referred to as the lower quartile. The middle is 11, also referred to as the median. And the right is 17, also referred to as upper quartile. The quartiles are basically just medians of two sets of different numbers, like two different sets of the numbers. So that you have one big set and you have the median of that one set, and then you split that at the median into two different sets, and then you have the medians of those sets, which are called the lower and upper quartiles. That should have been a review. Next, we're going to learn how to use this Boxwhisker Plot. First step to doing this, after you've created your number line, I created my number line with intervals of 1, but if you have a large span of numbers, you should make sure that you go by it, like, say you go by, like, between 1 and 1,000. You probably don't want to go by a 1 that's going to be a very long number line. First step is you're going to put circles on upper and lower quartiles, which is we just learned what those were. So they are 17 and 8. Next, we're going to draw a box from the lower to upper quartiles, which is going to look like this. And that's your box part of your Boxwhisker Plot completed there. Next, you're going to draw a circle around the median to mark that. Next, you're going to start creating the whiskers. You're going to put circles on the minimum and maximum, which you hope you know what those are too. Those are the highest and lowest numbers in your data. So in this case, it's 20 and 1. Here you're going to complete your whiskers. You're going to draw the lines that connect the min and max of the box. And as I said, there's your box and whisker plot. Our final graph is the pie graph. A pie graph is a circular chart divided into sectors. Each sector shows the relative size of each value. This is a pie graph. Get it? It's a pie. So Next, we're going to learn how to use this pie graph. This pie graph is on the precipitation during the first 6 months of the year. Now we're going to the parts of a pie graph. This first part is called the title. The next is the circle, and the final is the key. You need all these parts of the pie graph to create a successful pie graph, because if you don't have a title, you'll have no idea what your graph is about. If you don't have the circle, then it's not really a pie graph. And finally, if you don't have the key, then how will you know what your pie graph is about? Using a pie graph is pretty simple, but one recommendation I do have is that you should use it only for percentages. Never use a pie graph for time, like amount of time. That will not be possible. Use different graphs for different things. In this case, it won't be that. So, that's all that it says. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to fill out the summary on Google Forms.